I think that Richard Sherman is great. When you take into account in the last decade alone, there's only 2 cornerbacks, 250 targets or more to receivers. There's only 2 quarterbacks that have allowed less than a 50% completion percentage against them. It was Darrelle Revis, formerly of the New York Jets, and went to Tampa for 1 year for inexplicable reasons. And, of course, Richard Sherman. You don't get him over the top. You don't complete long passes 20, 25, 30 yards against this cat. Underneath, he's only allowing about 8 yards per catch. This brother is elite, but it specifically resonates with me. As a black man, to see this man, as highly intelligent as he is, high character guy, graduate of Stanford, brilliant, a savant, Pete Carroll and others from the Legion of Boom. Even when we talked about the Legion of Boom, we used to talk about Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, and these boys. And you forgot that brother was taking off an entire complete side of the field because he was a lockdown corner. He is elite on the field. He is an elite mind. He is brilliant. He's a high character dude. And I personally believe that people have held stuff against him because of his mouth, because he had a lot of bravado back in the day, used to get at people. Don't get me started with what he said to Crabtree after they beat him in the NFC Championship game and all of that other stuff. I think people hold that against him, never taking the time to realize high character, elite performer, incredible role model, good dude, and a star and a champion. And a champion. The man has won a Super Bowl. They should have had 2 if Pete Carroll had given it to beast mode at the half-yard line instead of trying to throw the ball over the middle from Russell Wilson to somebody, okay? Richard Sherman was on those teams, and now after suffering an ACL injury, if I remember, I think it was the Achilles, I'm sorry, all right? And he comes back. Now all he's done is do what he was doing before he got injured. The brother's special, and he's right.
I love Richard Sherman. I used to do a radio show with Marcellus Wiley, who, went from Compton to Columbia, and Richard Sherman went from Compton to Stanford and used to kill him. Like, he's better than you at football, and I think he got you with the schools, too, and I went to Columbia, right? Like, the thing about Richard Sherman, some of the negative reaction to him, insofar as there is, I think he feels that there's more negative reaction to him than there really is. But there's been the black athlete in this country, if you're African-American and it's hard for people to reconcile. If you're loud, it's supposed to be because you're uneducated, right? You're boastful, you're not. But what about when you're refined? What about when you went to Stanford and you have the arguments and you can out-debate your detractors and you're loud and you're still not conforming to exactly the behavior that they're prescribing for you? I'm not talking about, is he an upstanding citizen? Is he a great teammate? Does he give back? All these kind of things. I'm talking about the level of humility you show. What if you do it your own way and you don't need anyone else to speak for you? So Richard Sherman, to me, the way he's bulletproof that way, I just love to watch him do it. He's got everyone at everything. He's the best at what he does. He went to Stanford, the distance travel between where he grew up and where he is now, the institution he went to, everything. A champion might be about to be a champion again, largely because of his contributions. What can you say? You just got to tip your cap.
I agree with that. Being an athlete, I mean, everybody wants to have a voice, but when we have a voice, then all the shots get thrown at us. Like we don't know what to talk about, or we shouldn't say certain things. But obviously, he feel like he was getting disrespected from the beginning, and I mean, I grew up watching him, so I mean, I can kind of agree with where he's coming from. But like I said, it's just, I mean, that's just the perception of it that we don't know what to talk about.
I think the important point to peel from what he said was when he said, I'm just tired of it. Mm-hmm. What he's tired of, what was he talking about? He's tired of witnessing people extending themselves effort-wise to diminish and denigrate what this man has accomplished. Now, if you're just minding your business and you don't have anything to say, all right, Richard Sherman ain't mad about that. Richard Sherman is disgusted because there are too many questions when there shouldn't be questions. And he knows it for a fact because other people who deserve those questions get bypassed while somebody who's performing at an elite level is scrutinized. That's where his disgust comes from, and he's justified. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.